What's up everybody, Wyatt here, and today we're going to be making the ultimate chocolate dessert, lava cakes. For this recipe, you're going to need butter, salt, sugar, flour, eggs, and of course, chocolate. I think a good lava cake should be cakey on the outside and runny and gooey in the middle, just so when you break into it, you get all that batter just flowing out, and it is so good. I've got a pot of water simmering behind me, getting ready for our first step. Alright, with that, let's move on to our first step. Alright, so to start, we're just going to take our chocolate. This is 6 ounces of chocolate, by the way, but I will also have more measurements in the description below. So we're just going to take our chocolate here. So I'm just going to take my chocolate, and even though it's already just roughly chopped up from me throwing it around, I'm just going to give it a nice little chop. Or you could also just, easier way, snap it. So this is just basically going to help it melt faster and get a more even consistency than if we left it as big chunks. I've placed a glass bowl on top of just under boiling water, and I'm going to be using this to melt my butter and my chocolate together to make a nice smooth consistency. So we're going to start by adding our butter, and then we'll go in and we'll add our chocolate. Try not to spill it all over the oven or all over the stove like I just did. But so we're basically just going to mix this around, and yeah, you see, because you don't want your bowl touching the water, you just want it just above, and it's just going to melt your butter and your chocolate together to form this nice smooth kind of ganache. This is looking good. As you can see, the butter and the chocolate are definitely melting together. As you can see in the bottom here, there are just a few chunks of butter and a couple cubes of butter that haven't fully melted yet. But this is basically what you're looking for. You may think it seems really liquidy, but trust me, it thickens up when you add it to the batter for your cake. It will probably only take maybe 2 to 3 minutes depending on your heat. But you don't want your water boiling, because then the bubbles might come up and hit your bowl, and you don't want that. Alright, this is looking really good. As you can see, we've got a nice smooth texture with no lumps. No like lumps of chocolate or lumps of butter. This is looking just like we want it to. Alright, so this lava cake recipe is unbelievably simple. So it's basically just a few ingredients. So now we're going to start by adding 2 eggs to a bowl. I'm going to put these in a ramekin first, because we are going to be using 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks, because we want that nice texture. Also, this helps if to try to scoop out some eggshell. I believe I got a little bit of eggshell in here. Yes, I did. Alright, after many attempts, I got my eggshell out, and now we are going to be working on separating 2 egg yolks from the egg whites. So I have a little bowl here, or just a little ramekin, to put our egg whites in. So the way I like to separate them is I like to just split an eggshell in half. That was not very even. But if that doesn't work, this works better. Pour it onto your hand, your washed hand, and then you can just transfer it between your 2 hands, and all of the white will just come off and go into the other bowl, leaving you with just the egg yolk. And then you can just put that in your bowl. And let me do this with the other one, and give me a second. Alrighty, so I've got my two egg yolks and my 2 whole eggs. So I'm just going to put these in my bowl, along with the salt and the sugar. So I'm just going to grab my whisk here, and I'm just going to whisk this until it's nice and smooth, which isn't going to take too long because there's not too many ingredients. So once it's just like that, we're going to take our chocolatey mixture that we just did over the stove, and we're just going to pour this in. Wow. I wish you guys could smell this right now. This smells so good. Just a mixture of chocolate and sugar alone. So we'll just whisk this. Wow, look how fast that turns dark. That turns so dark. super fast. Alright, so you'll just mix that together with your whisk. And then when that's done, you're going to take your flour and you'll just sprinkle your flour in and mix it together. So, like I said earlier, this recipe isn't hard at all. It makes just these delicious little chocolatey things, things of goodness, and they're so good. It's always so satisfying when you crack into one and you just see that lava filling just pour out. I love it so much. So our batter is ready. Now for this step, this is where we are going to grease our ramekins to bake our batter in. So here I have about 4 ramekins just greased with butter, and I'm going to just start by adding a little bit of sugar in each one, and then you're just going to take that and you're just going to like sprinkle it all up the sides to just coat the side of your ramekin in granulated sugar. This just allows for a bit of extra sweetness and a little coat of sugar on the outside of your lava cake. I'm going to do that to the rest of these ramekins, and I'll see you when that is done. Alright, so now that we have greased our ramekins and dusted them with sugar, I'm going to be using an ice cream scoop, and I'm just going to take 1 scoop of lava cake batter, and I'm just going to put it in. So I'm just going to do 1 scoop for each of these, and then if I have leftover batter, I'll try to do 1 more scoop, and you'll go until you run out of batter. And now it's time to bake them. Alright, so now we're going to take our 4 ramekins, and we're just going to place them on our baking sheet. And we're going to bake these in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 minutes. Alright, so my timer just went off, and my lava cakes are ready. Oh, a couple of them looked like they overflowed a little bit. That's okay, just make sure you don't use as much batter as I did, and that will not happen with your lava cakes. So these look super good. Looks like they all slid to the back, so I'll just push these forward a little bit. You can see all that nice chocolatey stuff. You can see the sugar on the side turned nice and brown. So the way I like to put these guys on my plate is I like to put one on my oven mitt, just open like this. I like to grab my plate, and I like to put the plate on top, making sure to hold down this part, flip it over, lift your hand off, put this down, and then just lift up. Oh, the ramekin's kind of difficult to lift with oven mitts on. Just lift that up. I hit it. So we're just going to try to scrape this back on. And bloop, and that looks like a perfect lava cake to me. So I like my lava cakes with a nice dusting of powdered sugar. So just give this a light little snow dusting. Wow, that looks so pretty. And in my opinion, this right here is the ultimate chocolate dessert. I'm so excited to try this thing. Let's go. So this is a different night from my original video because I was not happy with how lava-y my cakes were. But it's kind of hard to decipher. You've got to change your cooking time because I tried cooking them with this ramekin for 12 minutes and it was good, but we found they were way too big. So we tried this ramekin, which is actually bigger, but that one didn't work as well. Well, it worked. And then this one was the perfect size for a lava cake, but we cooked it for 12 minutes and it was a bit too long, so there wasn't any lava in it. And then this one is a bit small, but this makes just a small lava cake for you for a snack. And it depends on how long you cook it for, depending on how lava you want your cake, but you still want to make sure it's thoroughly cooked. This is the ramekin we like to use, is like about the medium-sized one, because I find it's a good size for it, for how rich this is. And I like to bake it for about 10 minutes, and it's very lava-y. So let's cut into this one, and let's see if it has any lava. So just cut Oh, I can hear the lava. Oh, look how much lava there is in this one. Lava. It's like a volcano. So can you see that right there? It is just flooding lava, which is what we want. So try a bite. Delicious. Right, I'm gonna go eat this because this is very good. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video.